This is a fairly simple exercise about dialogue repair. We've got 2 takes of the same shot, but one take is significantly better in its performance, but it has a fluff on one of the words. And this is really just to show you what you can do fiddling with the sound to retain that better take, but remove the fluff. Let's have a look at the 2 shots involved. So here is take 1.
I'm going to put a lock on that gate, or better still, install a turnstile and start charging.
And now take 2.
I'm going to put a lock on that gate, or better still, install a turnstile and start charging.
So I think take 1 is better, but there's a fluff on install a turnstile. So let's see what we can do to use the dialogue of take 2 to repair take 1. Let's have a go at it. So let's first of all lay down take 1. Mark at the front, mark at the end, and on it goes. Okay, let's have a go at fixing it. Here it is again.
I'm going to put a lock on that gate, or better still, install a turnstile and start charging.
The problem you see is that we've got to keep the vision. So, normally you'd take that delay out just by tightening the audio waveform. But in tightening the audio waveform, we're stuck with the vision. The vision would jump slightly if we tried to do the same. So we've got to somehow mend the sound without altering the vision. Let's first of all find out where install happens on this audio waveform. To do that on this particular version of software, I hit caps lock. Now I get scrub. So as I frame advance, I can hear the sound. Or, that's the B of better. There's the beginning of still. And that's the end of still. So here is install. Install. Turnstile. Okay. So that's the T of stall. So that's not a bad point to synchronize. So I'm going to put an in there. There's the T of turnstile. So I'm going to do an out there. So I'm going to do the same on the source. I can toggle the timeline to display the source by hitting that button down there. So I'm going to do the same.
Or better still, install...
Here we are. So, install. There's the stall again. I only need 3 points. I've got 2 on the sequence and 1 on the source. And both the endpoints are synchronous to the stall of install. With some fear, I'm going to hit replace. And I'm going to turn off the scrub sound.
Or better still, install a turnstile and start...
Well, that's not terrible. Let's have another listen.
Or better still, install a turnstile.
We're still waiting for install, but of course we've matched the timing to the fluffed timing. So we're going to have to pull this chunk backwards. It probably will only need a couple of frames. So I'm going to roller on the outside of the chunk of sound. Let's pull it back by 1 frame. And let's listen to that.
Or better still, install a turnstile and start charging.
There's something a little bit strange on the out. Don't know what it is. I'm going to try to come back a frame.
Or better still, install a turnstile and start...
No, that's made it worse. So I'm going to have to hang on a tiny bit longer. That's gone back to where it was. Let's try a frame later.
Or better still, install a turnstile and start charging.
Ah, that's better. That's better. Now, to make sure this join doesn't stick out in any circumstances, I'm going to put a 1 frame mix as we go over to the other take. Has that made an improvement?
Or better still, install a turnstile and start charging.
Sort of still just waiting. Can I possibly take another frame away? Here we go again.
Or better still, install a turnstile and start charging.
That's better for install, but we've ruined the end.
gate, or better still, install a turnstile.
Now, by hanging on, can I make the edit a tiny bit later so I'm taking the t of turnstile on the replacement rather than the original? Has this improved things?
Or better still, install a turnstile and start charging.
Ah, there we are. So our edit, here's the T of turn and this is style. So I'm doing an edit in the word turnstile. Let's have another listen.
Or better still, install a turnstile and start charging.
I think I'm going to do the same on the out and pop a one frame mix on as well.
Or better still, install a turnstile and start charging.
You've almost probably got to walk away from this, take a 5-minute break, go make a cup of tea and then come back. I think it's probably okay. Here's one more listen.
I'm going to put a lock on that gate, or better still, install a turnstile and start charging.
I think we're all right. Well, we got there in the end. I think the effort was worth it. What I was trying to demonstrate really with this exercise is that sometimes you've got to go into complete microsurgery with the sound. We've saved a take. There was one small fluff in it, but the other take was much worse. Her inflections were not as good. So, yes, you could leave it to a dub, but the point is that exec producers, your director, maybe the writer, maybe anybody, will watch your cut. You can't leave these repairs to a dub. So sometimes microsurgery on the sound is required. So on the download, you've got the usual mix of the 2 shots involved and a good version from me. Have a go at it. This one was quite tricky.